Hello, my name is Sophia, and this is an audio version of my blog entry entitled A Video of Afghans Selling Children and OSINT Investigation. Introduction. On March 10, 2022, I came across a concerning video that had been shared on Facebook earlier that day. In this post, the author implies that the video depicts a market in a village in Afghanistan where people were selling children for cheap money. There's no information regarding when the video was made, by whom, or even where. I took upon myself to find out more information regarding this matter and assess whether or not the claims were founded. My analysis was done using only open source intelligence, so OSINT techniques and tools, freely available on the web. Below you can read the process used to get from the initial claim on Facebook to the real events behind the video, supported by facts and evidence. It was quite a ride. The video and the claim. The video that started this investigation can be found on Facebook post. It has since been deleted, but I have an alternative and I'll show you in a second. So this is a screenshot of the video posted on Facebook and the accompanying caption, and it said, "Our slave is a ring to the ears of God's damnation on you," crying emoji. I have absolutely no idea what that's supposed to mean because it was translated. So here's the actual video and that we're going to play. So it starts with people, the quality is very bad, there's nothing I can do about that. So there's children, there's babies, and they all seem to be waiting for something, very confused looks on their faces. There's another one with another baby, there's just babies everywhere. There's a group of men that seem to be doing something, they seem to be in charge. At some point, this row that we first saw, they all got up and they're now queuing. So then a person goes back and there's more people, lots of men and children. They're directing that way. This man is carrying a weapon, this man is carrying a weapon. And this group, the children are approaching this man and they're directing this way, and that is it. This is what we get. So let's try to get more information about this. Video analysis. The first thing we must do in OSINT is to analyze the initial content as much as possible before beginning the search. Leave no stone unturned. Figuratively, of course, can't actually edit anything. For that, I watched the Facebook video over and over again, taking mental and handwritten notes of everything I was observing. Nothing is too trivial or insignificant. I wanted to memorize everyone's faces, every building, every look and interaction between the people, literally everything, to really understand what was happening in this 44-second video. So my initial impressions were: the video starts showing a big group of adult males, possibly Afghans, with many young children, including babies, in a rural area with many decaying buildings around. Immediately in front of the person recording is a queue of people, most carrying babies and with young children, who are sitting and looking to their right, so our left, appearing to be waiting for something. The man filming approaches his first row of people and focuses on one of the babies wrapped in a white fabric. He speaks Farsi and asks, "Doesn't the child cry?" Just so you know, I asked someone to translate this for me because obviously I do not understand Farsi. It then moves to show a couple more babies being carried by young boys. Afterwards, the crowd gets up and starts moving towards the person who's recording left-hand side, where a group of men appears to be in charge of gathering and directing people. A man dressed in white with a black jacket is seen pointing to his right to where a crowd is now being directed. The person recording pans back and focuses the footage on a baby before moving past the queue and showing the other group of people behind them, possibly waiting their turn. This group does not seem to have as many babies with them, with only one being visible, but there are still many children around. He then moves to his left, showing several adult men that seem to be in charge of the situation, with one wearing fuchsia pointing at his left to where an old man carrying a baby is seen walking. A man with a red piece of fabric on his shoulder and a firearm is seen ushering people along a line. Behind him, a few others in a line do the same. We then see a man wearing a bright orange or red jacket with a cream-colored shape on his back and a blue woolly hat with white stripes. A teenage boy wearing bright pink clothing and a white hat that we had seen at the beginning of the video is now seen approaching a man wearing dark brown clothes matching his turban, who directs the young boy towards the man with the red jacket, and the video ends. So this is a very lengthy description of everything we just watched. And everything that we covered here will be important and will be addressed. So after observing the video, I had a few questions. Why are there only men with children, and why are there no women taking care of them? We're looking at a country that is very gender segregated. Men don't usually take care of children, so why are the men there and not the women, right? Why are they all looking in the same direction? Why are they all in such a damaged location? Why is there a queue, and what are they waiting for? And who is the person in the red jacket that seems to be in charge? All these questions will need to be answered in order to get to the bottom of this. And they will be. Similar videos. While researching for more information on this video, I came across other similar videos that had been shared on Facebook with similar captions, many of which had been already reshared several times. The earliest identical video had been posted on the 9th of March 2022 and had better quality than the one I initially analyzed. Below is a screenshot of the earliest submission of the video found on YouTube. The caption is different, but the implication that this is portraying a market where children are sold is similar. So this one says, hot market of buying and selling children in the 21st century, one of the provinces of Afghanistan. This is the government of the dissatisfied Karzai brothers and terrorists called Taliban, who have taken the lives of 30 million people of the country hostage. Who's responsible? When did you and I become unmanly and kept silent in front of them? So this is the video that was the earliest I could find. Geolocation. Before I delved into the comment section of the video looking for leads, I wanted to see if there was any point in trying to geolocate this video. Knowing where it was filmed would be a tremendous help in trying to figure out what is happening in it. For that, I tried to screenshot various frames of the video where the mountains in the distance were visible, and then attempted to create a panoramic-ish photo with an image editing software. Spoiler alert, I didn't get too far with that as expected. There's barely any geography visible on the 44-second video. That didn't stop me though. I decided I could just draw what I could see, any buildings, rubble, passages, etc. And here are my extremely untalented attempts below. And yes, that is my mouse, the coolest mouse in existence, and you can see it on my Twitter account. I love that mouse. So this is it. This is my attempt of drawing. This is what you can see at the beginning when the person is filming, and then they turn at some point, and so this is the back of this area. Although not exactly useful at the moment, it will be hopefully handy later on. And yes, it was. Comment analysis. Before diving into this research all over the web, it's always useful to check out the comments. Sometimes there is something there worth pursuing. In this case, I spotted a few comments on the Facebook video mentioning the possibility of this being a vaccination campaign and not a hot market for buying and selling children, as the caption implies. Below are some of the examples of the comments found, some in Farsi and some in Pashto, all translated into English using Facebook's embed function, which is so useful, by the way. On the left, you'll have someone that asks, what's going on here? Does anyone have better information? Please tell me what's going on. I'm confused. God, do we live in the Middle Ages? The author answered, didn't you read the text, brother? Implying that it's a child's market. But someone else answered, here is the vaccine. Another comment, someone said, once upon a time, cobs and sheep were sold. Now they are selling children and girls. And someone answered, get vaccinated here. So there's a vaccination center hypothesis, with several people in the comments of the various videos shared on Facebook and Twitter mentioning that this situation could be showing a vaccination effort in rural Afghanistan. I decided to pursue that line of thought and find out if this was a credible explanation for the events depicted in the video. For that, we need to find the answer to several questions. Are the Taliban allowing children to be vaccinated? Are there vaccination efforts in specific areas of the country? How are vaccinations usually administered to children? Who are the people giving the vaccines? In which setting are they usually administered? Who usually handles the children in such cases? what are the ages of the targeted children. So with a mix of news stories, press releases, and analysis of online media, the answer to all of these questions was found. The Taliban, after a 3-year ban on polio vaccinations, had agreed on October 2021 to allow United Nations health workers to restart the polio vaccination campaign in January 2022 all over Afghanistan. These vaccinations come in the form of drops administered directly to the children's mouth. The people giving the vaccines, usually women health workers, will go door to door to every household where children between 6 months old and 5 years of age can be found. So now that we have answered the questions above, we can see how some of the new information is contradictory to what we have watched in the video. If the vaccinations are being administered door to door, why are all the children in the same location? A news article that I found could answer this question. In an article by Tola News, the operations coordinator for the polio program at the Ministry of Health, Nick Wally Shah, said it has been decided that this campaign will be mosque to mosque instead of house to house. This could explain why the children were accompanied by a male relative instead of a woman. However, we can easily see that the setting is not a mosque, therefore this theory is just not sustainable. We also see no easily identifiable health workers in the video, and judging by the appearance of the children, some are younger than 6 months of age and some definitely older than 5 years of age. All of these incongruences together make it clear that the video I was analyzing is not of a vaccination campaign, but something else. At this point, I got a bit upset. I was really hoping that the video depicted the vaccination program because the other possibility was just too dark to face. Are people in Afghanistan desperate enough to sell their own children? We'll find out soon. Child selling market hypothesis. In order to verify the veracity of the child market claims in the video, I needed to find out first if such markets actually exist, and if so, how they operate. For that, I need to answer a few questions. Are there markets in Afghanistan where children are sold? Who is selling the children? Who is buying the children? For what purpose are children being bought? What is the age range of the sold children? What is the gender of the sold children? And where is the location of such markets? The answer to all of these questions was found in a variety of news articles by CNN, DW, Sky News, and videos from Bloomberg and Sky News. Note, I would not watch or read them if you're easily upset. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, there are indeed cases of young children, mostly girls, being sold into marriage in Afghanistan, with a few reports of boys being sold with the families with no sons or for work. The average age of cases for girls seem to be between 5 and 10 years of age. Most of these transactions are done between the father and the buyer with no input and sometimes no knowledge from the mother, either in exchange for money or to pay off debts. Now that we know a bit more about what drives some Afghan families to sell their children, we need to verify whether or not the information I just found matches what seemed to be happening in the video. The fact that there seem to be a majority of male Afghans present could mean that this is a situation in which there is money being transferred, but the ages and gender of the children present don't match the statistics. The majority of children in the video are either babies or young boys, none of which are in the target demographic for child market. There are also far too many children, and with not many men accompanied, where are all the buyers? This leaves us with the certainty that both the vaccination center and the children's market hypothesis are incorrect. We have one more thing we haven't identified though, the location. At this point, I'll confess I need a break. Researching and watching videos on such dark topics can take a toll on anyone's mental health. It's fine to stop for a bit and recharge before carrying on. The location. Although the previous investigation into the vaccination center hypothesis and the child selling market hypothesis were unfounded, I still gained valuable information in the process. Whilst trying to find information about the children's market, I performed a reverse image search on all the clear faces of the video, and one in specific gave me a very interesting and unexpected result. On the 14-second mark of the Facebook video, we see the little boy below holding a baby in his arms. He's wearing a white hat with an interesting pattern in front. Some clothes are traditional and specific to certain areas of the country. And after searching and watching many videos with children in Afghanistan, only one image was found that contained a boy wearing a similar hat. The boy was a refugee in a village in Badghis. First, we see the young boy in the Facebook video we're investigating, and then we see the boy from a stock photo wearing a similar patterned hat. So you can see it's a little shape, isn't it? Look at that, same one. This can be a valuable clue pointing us in the right direction. If you were then to search for information regarding Badghis, you'll easily come across articles detailing the earthquake that hit the area in January 2022. The information in the article, combined with the images gathered from the setting of the initial video, corroborated the hypothesis of Badghis being the place where it was filmed. If we look at some of the frames showing the building in the video from Facebook, or looking at my brilliant drawings from before, we notice that there is rubble around, damage on the walls and collapsed buildings, all of which could be an indication of a place that suffered an earthquake. All of those highlighted in red below. So you can see there's damage there, damage there, damage. There's like rubble around. So there's clear signs of something that happened, likely an earthquake. Now, this is where things started to get interesting. If we then compare the building style and type of materials used for houses in the previous images with some of the photos shared on the UNICEF article regarding the Badghis earthquake, we can quickly identify a clear similarity between the two. The structure and the rubble, it is all very similar to this, same materials and same type of damage. The above comparison between the two sets of images corroborates my theory that the initial Facebook video was probably filmed in Badghis, most likely after the 5.3 magnitude earthquake felt in the Cadiz district on the 17th January 2022. While searching for more information and images of a post-earthquake Badghis on YouTube, I found a video entitled Afghan Americans Help Victims of Badghis Earthquake, published by the Salam Times. And this is a screenshot of the video that I found. The video, entitled Afghan Americans Help Victims of the Badghis Earthquake, shows a team of people, all men, meeting and greeting local people and then giving money to little children. The description of the video explains that an engineer named Jalaluddin Wardak traveled from the United States of America to Afghanistan in order to deliver the assistance to the residents of 3 villages of Cadiz district on January 29 and 30, 2022. The most interesting part about this video was the realization that the setting was the same as the one from the video I was investigating. We can specifically match the area highlighted in red in the Facebook Children's Market video below to the Salam Times earthquake aid video. So if you compare the area highlighted in red below, first seen on the Facebook video there on the left, and later on the YouTube video on the right. So this is the Child's Market video that we were investigating, and this is the video of this Afghan American group of people that came to Afghanistan to deliver money. And what can we spot? I was so excited. And if we highlight the specific details in the video, we can verify it's the exact same place. The same features on the same corner, and maybe even the same lady sitting there, which is very hard to tell because they all wear black, isn't it? So I would say this is the same person as well. It's a perfect match, a beautiful confirmation that this is not a children's market. We kind of already knew that from the previous research into that type of practice, but it's still great to have factual evidence that this is something else. It was a great relief for me after a full day of reading and listening to harrowing stories. This crucial piece of information, alongside the description of the video, allowed me to establish not only the location, but the time frame in which this video was recorded, a chronolocation. The footage, initially claimed to be a children's market, was filmed in Badghis between January 29 and 30th, 2022. I also did a quick research on this story and found a couple of articles with a few more interesting details. According to the Salam Times, a number of Afghan American people gathered enough money to provide financial assistance to the many victims of the earthquake that hit the Badghis area. The Bakhar News then added that the charity foundation distributed 15,000 Afghanis in cash to each bereaved families, 10,000 Afghanis to each vulnerable family, and finally 12,500 Afghanis in cash to the surviving infant child of each. This would explain why there are only men in the video, as they are there to accept the financial aid in cash. It also explains why they brought all their children, as they were there to prove how many they had to also collect money per each. But I'm not done yet. I wanted to dig just a bit more into this new video. Let's check the people. Once the location was established, I decided to try to find out more information about the protagonists. By analyzing the new video and comparing it to the previous information, we can start matching a few characters. Person 1, Jalaluddin Wardak. He's wearing an orange-reddish jacket with dark cream shapes, a black shirt underneath the jacket, a woolly blue hat with white stripes or shapes. Is highlighted in purple below. On the Facebook video, top left image, this one, he is seen as likely the person in charge. In the Salam Times video on YouTube, the same person, identified as Jalaluddin Wardak, can be seen on different occasions. First, meeting with the local elders on the right here, and then later on distributing money to children, which is in this picture on mid left. A few seconds later, we can also see him talking to the camera, possibly explaining what he's doing in Badghis on the bottom left. We can safely conclude that this is indeed the same person in both videos. Mr. Jalaluddin Wardak is not in charge of a children's market or vaccination center. He was in the village to distribute aid to the affected families of the earthquake that earlier that month devastated the area. Next person, unknown. He was wearing a dark brown turban with some lighter colors and golden markings. A big piece of fabric, of the same color of his turban covers his body. He has a very dark and thick beard, and he's highlighted in yellow below. In the first video from Facebook's children's market, he's seen directing the young boy wearing bright pink and carrying a child towards the orange jacket man, who now we know is Jalaluddin Wardak, as seen in the left image below. In the YouTube video on the right, he can be seen at the beginning greeting other men just behind Jalaluddin Wardak, previously identified. We can conclude that both videos depict the same person wearing the same clothes and in the same geographical area, very likely on the same day. Person 3, unknown. Wearing an orange piece of fabric over his shoulders. The fabric has white stripes on it. He's wearing a dark yellow mustard colored jacket underneath. He has a black turban with white stripes. Has light blue trousers and long shirt and sport shoes. Go on that side. He's highlighted in dark blue below. He's visible in the first Facebook video on a few different instances and shown below on the top and middle images. You can see here at the top, and he is hiding, but it's still the same person. He was also spotted meeting the elders here and helping distribute the money here, hiding a bit as well. Person 4, unknown, wearing a dark blue turban, you go on the side, mustard colored white scarf over his shoulders, a dark blue shirt and white trousers. He also has a dark beard and is highlighted in light blue below. It was partially seen on the initial video on the corner, as seen below on the left, and he was also part of the group of people meeting the town elders on the YouTube video, as seen below on the right. Although person 4 is not as visible as the other ones, it's safe to conclude that it's likely the same individual in both videos based on the clothes he's wearing, the geographic location, and the group of people he's with. Overall, And with 4 clear matches, all wearing the same clothes in both videos, we can safely conclude that the events recorded on both the videos happened in the same day. Either that or they coordinated within the group to wear the same outfits on different days, which is very unlikely. I also had a 5th match, but I wasn't 100% confident on it and chose to leave him out. Feel free to look through the videos and see if you can spot the mysterious man number 5. Conclusion. Now that I have found the location where the initial Facebook video was recorded, the date it was filmed, and the team behind the events, I can confidently assert that the initial claim that it depicts a children's market in Afghanistan is false. All evidence point to this being the distribution of money by the Jalaluddin Wardak Charity Foundation between the 29th and the 30th January 2022, following the Badgiz earthquake in January 17, 2022. Unfortunately, that is not to say that such things do not happen, as evidence was found that children do get sold in Afghanistan. This just means that in this instance, the outcome was a happy one, preceded by the tragic earthquake that is. It's important to celebrate the little victories. This was one of them. I hope you enjoyed this quite lengthy explanation on how I found the truth behind the disinformation. Thank you for listening. Sophia.